issues important to your life and faith. Spiritual insight, practical wisdom. Join us as we transform the world one woman at a time. Women of Grace, for such a time as this. Now, here's your host, Johnnette Williams.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Women of Grace Live. I am Johnnette Williams, very happy to be with you today on this wonderful day in the Lord. It is the day that He has made. Therefore, what do? We rejoice and we are glad in it because we know it is bountiful with blessings for us today. We simply have to keep our eyes open, our hearts open, our ears open, and we will receive those blessings in abundance. And then we give beautiful, beautiful thanksgiving, praise, and acclamation to the Lord, who gives us such wonderful gifts to help us live that abundant life in His Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and to share that abundant life with others. Well, we love sharing with you Monday through Friday right here on Women of Grace Live, where we talk about issues of importance to your life and your faith. I'm always eager, of course, at the beginning of the program to give you the number to call so that you can join us today. But again, we're still trying to get this equipment wrapped up and cleaned up and repaired and replaced so that we can receive your calls live. We can't do that, but we can receive your comments via social media. So I want to encourage you to get out to EWTN Radio's YouTube channel and Facebook page, and you can communicate with us via the chat feature there. We'll be able to address whatever your concerns or comments might be. Additionally, you can text us. So text the letters EWTN to 58177. That's the letters EWTN to 58177. Wait for our response. Then put in your question or comment. Tell us who you are, where you are, how it is that you're listening, and do know that message and data rates may apply. So we can receive your immediate questions that way. We can also handle any questions that you would email to us. So simply email them to Women of Grace, all one word, plural on the women, Women of Grace at EWTN.com. Easy breezy, right? Isn't it? What is it? Easy breezy lemon squeezy or something like that. Anyway, it's definitely that because it provides a way in which you can communicate with us, and you're always welcome to use that email address. And we take those questions and we respond to them on the air here on various occasions. So we invite you to use that. Also, you can indeed leave a question for us at our listener comment line. And that phone number is 1-205-795-5773. That's 1-205-795-5773. So those are the ways that you can reach us. They're always available to you, but they're especially important now until we get this equipment resolved. You can't do anything about weather, right? You can pray. I think it's the choir of angels that is the virtues that are in control of the elements of the universe. So it's always good when you're having inclement weather to call upon the power of the virtues. And as I've shared with you in the past, I like to call upon them when I'm flying in an airplane, especially when the captain says, well, we're heading into a little turbulence and we've asked the flight attendants to take their seats. We have to suspend our service for the time being. And then I say, okay, angels, let's go. Smooth out these airwaves. Take care of us. But all of that, nonetheless, doesn't prevent us from being in touch with you. So those are the means that you can use today. Text us. Text the letters EWTN to 58177. Or you can use the chat feature at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel or Facebook page. You can leave a question for us on our listener comment line. We'll get to it probably the following day because we're not checking that when we're on the air. That number is 205-795-5773. And of course, you can also use the texting. I think I said that one already. So those are email, womenofgrace at EWTN.com. Womenofgrace at EWTN.com. Well, today is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's Wackadoodle Wednesday with Wackadoodle Sue and Johnnette. We're really not so wackadoodle. But it's just fun to say that word, isn't it? Wackadoodle. There's something on the tongue. I don't know. Anyway, when Wednesday comes around, I think it's the middle of the week, and we are geared up for your questions on anything that has to do with what you see strange in the culture of the day, or unfortunately within your children's schools. School is starting up again. I'm sure that we're going to have lots of questions about lots of things coming up in the very near future regarding that. Sometimes we unfortunately see some strange things happening in our parishes. We want to talk about those things too. The New Age, anything doing with the occult, Eastern Oriental mysticism, the human potential movement, all of those things we talk about on Wednesdays. So don't delay. Use that social media option to get your questions to us. Also use the texting message to get your questions to us today. But I can assure you, we've got a stack of questions that have come into us via email and via the listener comment caller line. So we've got all of that coming your way in just a few minutes. But I do want to tell you about some things happening at Women of Grace. I've been telling you, we're always about something. And I haven't mentioned this, and I am really remiss in not mentioning this to you. But our Benedicta Institute for Women has a course that is coming up. It's a fall online course that's actually beginning relatively soon. August 25th to September 28th is the duration of this, the 25th of August to September 28th. So it's not too late to sign up for this. It's not at all too late. This is an online course taught by our academic advisor, Dr. Donald Wallenfang. It is The Dignity of Dust, Contemplating Our Humanity. It's a wonderful, wonderful course. I have taken this course. It is a required course in our theme, God and the Human Person, which is one of the 4 themes or 4 pillars that hold up, our Benedicta Institute's program for women in Catholic women's leadership. And if you go through the whole program, you can attain a certification in Catholic women's leadership. However, you may simply want to take these classes for your own spiritual enrichment and edification. And I encourage you to do so because Dr. Wallenfang, number one, is a brilliant instructor. He's brilliant, but he's also a brilliant instructor. And a brilliant instructor is one who can take complex information and break it down into biteable chunks without sacrificing the meat of it for students. That's the essence of a good teacher. If you have a good math teacher, that good math teacher can take calculus and make somebody like myself understand it, who has no math propensity whatsoever. Dr. Wallenfang is like that. So he takes these really involved in deep questions, stimulates, our intellect, our imagination, and may I say, stimulates our spiritual appetite for the things of the Lord, and makes them very consumable for us. So I'm encouraging you, join us for this beautiful, beautiful opportunity beginning on August the 25th, The Dignity of Dust, Contemplating Our Humanity. The information's available for you at our website, womenofgrace.com. When you go out to that website, you are going to see right there on that homepage, number 1 in the purple navigational bar, Benedicta Institute. Click on that. What you're going to get on that first landing page is an overview of what our program is all about. But you'll also see an option there in the nav bar on that landing page that says upcoming courses. That's what you want to click on. It'll tell you all about this fall online course. It'll give you the particulars on it. It'll tell you what's available to you, what the books are that we will be studying, and it gives you an opportunity to register there as well. If you want to contact us, let me tell you what, we've got a phone number right there for you too. So you can call us and we will seek to answer all of your questions. But I really wanted to get that out. We've got all kinds of things coming up. I'll tell you a little bit more when we come back. But when we do come back, Sue's going to be with us, and I'm so eager to see what we're going to talk about today right here on Women of Grace Live. So do use our social media options and text us and stay with us. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned.
He captivates viewers with thought-provoking political and cultural reporting that resonates with Catholics and people of faith.
You found rather virulent forms of persecution and martyrdom, not only in Europe, but here in the United States and Canada as well. How does the Western version of religious persecution differ from other forms, both in tact and subtlety?
The World Over with Raymond Arroyo, tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, on EWTN Radio and Television.
With news from EWTN's Vatican Bureau, you can watch all of the important events from Rome, even if you don't have TV access. Using the latest technology, we've made it possible to watch the latest news from the Holy See, all delivered directly to your home via live streams. Watch live on EWTN's YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
Hi, I'm Greg Willits from RosaryArmy.com.
And I'm Jennifer Willits, his wife.
Have you ever felt called to do something tangible to grow in your faith and share it with others?
Making, praying, and giving away all twine-knotted rosaries, the Rosary Army way, is a simple yet profound way to answer that call.
By making an all-twine knotted rosary, you engage in a meditative act of creation, reflecting on each knot as you tie it, while considering the mysteries of faith.
Praying the rosary opens your heart to the stories of Christ's life and his mother Mary, helping you to draw closer to God through contemplation.
And in giving them away, you share a beautiful physical token of faith that can comfort, inspire, and even transform someone's spiritual life.
To get started with a free all twine knotted rosary, to learn how to make, pray, and give them away yourself, visit RosaryArmy.com.
Well, there you go. You hear that music. That is always a clear sign that not only is it Wednesday, but that Sue Brinkman is with us. It is a Wacky Wednesday here on Women of Grace Live. We have Wacky Wednesday every Wednesday. Sue Brinkman is with us. We talk about the strange things that we see happening in the culture. And we really try to tease out, that which is of God, that which is not of God, that which is in concert with our Catholic faith and that which is not, just simply so that we don't get tripped up. Because I'll tell you what, it's very easy to get tripped up. The hype and the what is the word that I want to use? The neutralization of these various kinds of thought processes and modalities and therapies and practices really has gotten a lot of people very, very used to the nomenclature that goes with it and very used to the whole concept of it. And as a result of that, we're not always on the ball and picking it out for ourselves. So we like to offer this program to keep you informed of what is out there. Excuse me. And also to answer your questions about anything that you may see. Excuse me. I am so sorry. But I do want to tell you, too, that in addition to the Benedicta Institute coming up in the very near future here, as we say later in August, we also have a couple of other things happening. I am so sorry. I should have brought water up with me, and I didn't. Anyway, Morning of Grace is happening on Tuesday, August the 12th. That is going to be taking place online. It is an online Morning of Grace. You can register for that right out there at our website, so simply go out there and do that. Also, on Tuesday, August the 12th, we have an online Quick Start training for new or aspiring young Women of Grace facilitators. And I'm really hoping that if the Holy Spirit is prompting you, you will join us and become a facilitator. This is specific to young women of grace, but we also want you to know that we have opportunities for you as well coming up on the 21st for those of you that would like to be a facilitator for an adult group of women. I'll tell you, the program is something that has transformed the lives of tens of thousands of women. That is not hyperbole. That is fact. And so we want for you to take advantage of the opportunity and really to join us in this beautiful, beautiful apostolate that helps women to understand who they are in the eyes of God, to see their dignity and vocation, to see who they are as God's daughters, to affirm them in their gifts of authentic femininity by way of a spiritual formation program, of which this is the foundational piece. So we certainly do invite you to seek those out. We're also going to be having an evening of grace on Thursday, August the 14th. All of these things are highlighted for you at our website, womenofgrace.com. Just simply click on events and they'll pop up for you. And you'll get some really, really good insight there. And now, without further ado, let me welcome Sue Brinkman. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning to you. It is so good to hear your voice, and I absolutely love the Wackadoodle.
Do you like that?
Wackadoodle Wednesday. I think that Wackadoodle is great. I love that. I was laughing when you said that. The Wackadoodle, the Wackadoodle Women of Wednesday.
I know. Yeah. Now it's okay for you and I to call each other Wackadoodle. I'm not sure that we would want to receive that from the general population of people.
That's right.
But we know what we're talking about.
We can call each other Wackadoodles. Yeah.
Yeah, we can, and we do have a good time on this day. Because we do get some very intriguing questions, and some of them we get as well. It just makes us scratch our head. And the people are calling saying, I think there's something the matter with this. And it's like, praise be to God for the gift of discernment. But it does make us wonder how things last in this culture when they are so seemingly contradictory to anything that makes logical sense.
I don't know. I don't know how it does either, other than that the evil one keeps fueling it, and he knows human nature, and he knows exactly what buttons to push to make us do exactly what it is that he wants. Yep. I just always remember those words that Pope St. Paul VI said in that very infamous 1972 address on Satan, that the devil knows how to infiltrate our individual psyches.
Yes.
And every time I would read that, I would just get chills and just shiver. He knows exactly who you are, what you're about. He's been studying you and watching you since the moment you were born. He knows exactly all kinds of things about you. He's not all knowing, of course, but he does know a lot about you just by observation, and he knows how to work you. Yeah. And how to get you to what buttons to push to get you to do exactly what it is that he wants. That's why we have to stay so close to Jesus and test the spirits and discern any kind of direction or guidance we might be getting, and always make sure that that's coming from the Lord.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. And that is quite a remarkable letter that Pope St. Paul VI wrote. I would recommend everybody to read that. I think, I actually quoted in some of my own writing where he talks about, the fact that we need to have a healthy understanding of the way in which the evil one operates. And so I think that our program, now that's a paraphrase on my part, but I think that our program goes, a distance in helping people to have that knowledge that they need to have so that they can discern what is of God and what isn't. And just to point to the quote that you gave us there, it is true. That is what the evil one does. He incites, infiltrates is an even stronger word. That's the word the Holy Father used. These kinds of thoughts into our psyche. He cannot read our thoughts, but he can incite thoughts. He can inflame thoughts. And he knows what our desires are because he, as you say, he's a great observer and he watches us and he knows us. Now, we should have a healthy respect of him, but we shouldn't fear him because stronger is he who is in me than he who is in the world. We should fear him if we start getting messed up with this stuff.
Exactly. And you always remember, too, that even though he's collecting all this information on us, he can't do anything with it that God does not allow.
Yes.
So he can't do anything with it. Only if you're not with the Lord and you're deciding, I don't want to be in my Father's house. You're sort of like an errant teenager. I don't want to be in my Father's house. I could do this to myself, and end up leaving your Father's house and going beyond the realm of his protection, and then getting yourself in trouble. Which is what happens. This is what happens out there. It's just sort of an analogy of what people do when they say, well, I'm just going to dabble around with this just because, I want a few answers. I know it's not really, I'm not really supposed to, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then you start to slowly move yourself out of your Father's house. And sometimes the Lord's going to allow you to get burned because just like any good parent, they know when it's their child needs to be taught a lesson, and he's going to let you get burned. We see it all the time here, don't we? People who say, well, I kind of wasn't intending to contact demons, or I wasn't trying to do anything evil or against God, but hey, you turned to a psychic, you went to a medium, you got your tarot read. This is all stuff that's the occult.
Yep.
So this is why I think our show is good, because a lot of people don't even know that, Johnnette. They think, Ouija board's a game. It's amazing how little that this information is out there. So I don't blame them. I don't blame the people for falling down, going down that road, because in a lot of cases they simply are not being educated about it.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And so we try to provide that education. And to that end, I do want for you to know that Sue has written some terrific books on various topics having to do with this. I do want to recommend her compendium. Is it Christian or New Age? Learn to Discern, right?
Right. Learn to Discern compendium. Yes.
Yeah. And that's available for you at EWTN's religious catalog. EWTNRC.com is where you can get it. We have it at our website, too, at our store. But Sue has also written a series of novels. The first is available. I have bated breath waiting for the second installment. As a matter of fact, as soon as it comes out, I'm going to go back and reread the first one. And this is a series of books. And, on tracking one family's history through the course of generations. And it's brilliantly written. Sue is a marvelous novelist. And what I like so much about it is that you are receiving a great big education and you are doing it, receiving that education in a very pleasant way because the storyline is absolutely fantastic and it keeps your attention. It's a page turner. So tell everybody about that.
Oh, thank you so much for even bringing that up. Yeah, Lioness Lost is the first book in the installment, and the woman in it is a None, nun. She doesn't believe in anything, and she especially does not like the church. And she's an investigative reporter who is put on the case of satanic hate crimes that are going on in her neighborhood, and she then begins to research stuff that she herself has been involved in, looking for clues about who might be affiliated with this gang. And she receives an education that she did not expect. And just like me many, many years ago, she does come back kicking and screaming, but she does start to make her way back into the church. So it's a good read for people, especially if you have some younger women who are on the fence about the church, because it's not at all preachy. It doesn't preach it. It tries to show you in story form how a real conversion can come about and how logical that conversion seems at the time when you're going through some of the stuff that she goes through while she's researching this satanic hate crime. So anyway, I think it's exciting. It was fun to write. I'm waited also with bated breath. The second book is due out in the fall. I just want the exact date. It's done. It's all there. So we just want the exact date, and then you'll be the first to know, Johnnette.
Oh, well, thank you. I can't wait. I can't wait to read. And ladies, just for your information, there is also a romance in the book. I don't know. I don't think that women ever get too old for a little bit of romance in a novel, And and may I say, this is not the kind of romance that you have to be worried about, It's not salacious in any way. But it is very, very well done, Sue. And so we're eager for that to come out. So we'll let you know when it's available, friends. We certainly will. In the meantime, of course, we're looking for you out there in social media land. Use the chat feature at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel and Facebook page to get your questions to us. We are available for you that way. Also, you can text us. Text the letters EWTN to 58177. Wait for our response. We will be only too happy to receive your text and to respond to it today. We also have some questions that were left for us on our listener comment line that we're going to get to. We might have a couple of emails. I'm not really sure. But if we've got them, you're going to hear them. And, also, too, I want you to know that you can send your questions to us. Send them to me at Women of Grace at EWTN.com, Women of Grace at EWTN.com. We'll get to them that way. And you can leave a question for us at that listener comment line by calling this number, 205-795-5773, 205-795-5773. Do want to mention to you, too, that we've got our New Age blog at our website, womenofgrace.com. Sue is the researcher for that blog. And I'll tell you what, you talk about the compendium, which is available, and everyone should have a copy of that. And if you are a priest or a deacon or a religious sister, let me just tell you, you need to have a copy, and you need to have it on your desk, because you are going to be facing questions that are going to come from your parishioners or your students or the people that you minister to and this is going to provide you with answers that you need to have, and it'll be a quick resource for you. Our New Age blog is also an excellent resource. We have almost 1,800. I think we were at 1,798 last week, so we might have broached the 1,800 mark of questions and answers that are out there for you. So I invite you to go out there. You can topically sort through them by using the search feature there. So if there's a particular area that you're concerned about or interested in, it's very, very accessible there. And we've got Sue's podcasts, Grace Under Fire. What is the subline there, Sue? It's popped out of my mind. Grace Under Fire.
Look it up. I have to look it up myself.
It has darkness in it. But that's okay. Grace Under Fire is enough for the moment. I told you, we're wacky. We're a little wacky. Anyway, that is available for you at our website as well. So just go on out there to womenofgrace.com. All kinds of good things for you there. I think we've got a couple of minutes. I'm thinking maybe we've got a minute or two, and we would be able to take a question. But why don't you give us a topic, and then when we come back from the break, we'll head into those questions, Sue.
Well, I wanted to get into Baba Vanga. She is that prophet who last week we heard a lot about her because of the July 30th earthquake. And I know we mentioned it on the air last week, but I wanted to get into that a little bit more deeply. She is supposedly a prophet who can divine the future. She's not associated in any way with the church or any of that. She supposedly was just, an ordinary girl at the age of 12 when she was picked up by a freak tornado and then dashed to the ground, and she lost her eyesight and something happened to her. And from that moment on, she was able to predict the future and heal. And she became very popular, but this was in Russia now. And her fame grew in the year 2000 when she predicted the sinking of the Kursk, which was the Russian submarine. Although when you read about it, that's not exactly what she did, what she predicted. She predicted that the city of Kursk would be covered with water in the year 2000. No, in the year 1999. And this ended up being a submarine in the year 2000. It wasn't exactly like that. But she's made a lot of predictions. She said that the 44th president of the United States would be an African American, and he would be the last president, last U.S. president. Huge wars, or supposedly a world war was going to happen. I forget when that date was now. 2004 tsunami, she predicted that. That we all know it did happen. All kinds of things, she says. But a lot of the things, most of it did not happen. A giant meteorite was supposed to hit Russia in 2020. That never happened. The Third World War was 2010. That never happened. And here, when you look into her, you find out that her predictions, none of them are written down. They're all passed on orally by her followers, who are kind of like a cult. They love her. They're very devoted to her. And what they do is they take one of her prophecies, which are very cryptic, a lot like Nostradamus, and they make it apply after the effect. They make it apply to what happened. She had predicted 9/11, and she said that there was going to be attacked by giant steel birds, and innocent blood will gush. And they attacked that, of course, through 9/11. So, but it's interesting to discuss this. Maybe we come back, we could just finish up with it. But where these predictions come from? How does she get them?
Exactly. Well, more to come on the other side of the break, friends. You're listening to Women of Grace Live, and in our library are Sue's podcast, and it's Grace Under Fire, Exposing the Darkness. We were on the right track there.
Boy, that wasn't hard.
Not hard at all. So we invite you to get out there and check that out, but we really want for you to stay with us on the other side of the break. Do use the social media option we have available for you today at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel and Facebook page. Use the chat feature. We'll get your question. We are good to go, and we're coming right back. Stay tuned.
One of the reasons we should go to Mass is because it is the food of the saints that we receive. And for the saints, they understood rightly that the time after Holy Communion that those moments are the most precious moments of our lives.
The Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, live from the EWTN Chapel, every morning, 8 Eastern, on EWTN Radio and Television.
Become formed in the heart of our Mother with the Moments with Mary study series available through Women of Grace. This study series unpacks the beauty and mystery of our Blessed Mother. In the first study, Who is Mary? We answer that very question and come to know our Blessed Mother as never before. This 6-week study is one that you pray through. It can be used in a group setting or explored individually. With the purchase of your study guide, you will receive online access to study teaching videos with Johnnette Williams and Father Hugh Gillespie. Through these videos, enlightening articles, your daily time of prayerful meditation, and daily reflection videos with Johnnette, you will be immersed into the treasure that is our Blessed Mother. Whether you join a group, start a group, or study on your own, you are sure to deepen your relationship with Mary. Order your copy of Moments with Mary, Who is Mary, today through Religious Catalog, www.ewtnreligiouscatalog.com.
Celebrate a nun like no other. Join us in honoring EWTN's beloved foundress, Mother Angelica, and her remarkable life, words, works, and remembrances. Visit EWTN.com/Mother Angelica today.
Matt Swaim here. Tomorrow on the Sunrise Morning Show, we'll talk Bible foods with Rita Heichenfeld and get you all the latest news, weather, sports, and a whole lot more. Now back to Women of Grace with Johnnette Williams.
Welcome back, friends. You're listening to Women of Grace Live. I'm Johnnette Williams on this beautiful Wednesday in the Lord, joined by Sue Brinkman. Every Wednesday, Sue is with us. We discuss the weird and the wacky. We talk about things regarding the New Age. We talk about things regarding Eastern Oriental mysticism. We talk about things regarding the human potential movement and a whole lot more. So we invite you generally to give us a call here, but as I've been sharing with you, we have some difficulties with our equipment due to lightning strikes. So we cannot receive calls right now. Our equipment is down for that. However, we can receive your questions and comments via social media. And we've got Pedro Quiles out there doing the retrieving. You can use the chat feature at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel and our Facebook page. We can also receive your information in real time via text. Text the letters EWTN to 58177. That's EWTN to 58177. Wait for our response. Tell us who you are, where you are, how you're listening, and know that message and data rates may apply. Do have a couple of announcements for you, and here is a really good one. I love these announcements. I want to send congratulations to another one of our great EWTN radio partners who is celebrating 10 years with us. Congratulations. Woot, woot, woot. KYEJ 90.1 FM serves Fairmont, Minnesota. We're so happy to have you there. Congratulations to Steve Landsteiner and everyone at Fairmont Area Catholic Radio, from all of us here at EWTN and from Women of Grace especially. We're just so delighted that you are celebrating 10 years. That's really quite an accomplishment. A decade of sharing the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ. And don't forget that we have Pro-Life Weekly email every week. Each week, EWTN keeps you informed and educated with the latest news and truth on abortion, euthanasia, assisted suicide, and the culture of death. We do this on EWTN Pro-Life Weekly, and we can send you a link to EWTN's Pro-Life Weekly each week, so you don't even have to think too much about it. EWTN.com, click on subscribe, and boom, you are good to go. So all kinds of good things happening everywhere. Inviting you to get out there too and to check out our website at womenofgrace.com, as I share with you all of the time. We've got some really, really good stuff for you there. Great things coming up. Our Benedicta Institute, our fall course coming up later in August here. Not too late to sign up. Please do go out there and check that out. Well, Sue, you were talking with us about this prophet who so many people have glommed onto, and really think that she is the cat's meow, as they used to say many years ago. But the fact of the matter is, oftentimes, as is the case, these prophecies or these seeming to be experiences of knowing what the future is are so generalized that just about anything can be put into them that is even remotely connected.
Absolutely, and that's I'm sure the case here. But some of them were, somewhat accurate. I mean, to say the Kursk within a year was going to be covered in water, and of course a submarine is covered in water, and she was just a year off on that one. It is kind of uncanny coincidence that she said that. So, but even if what she's getting is true, does that mean that this is coming from God? And of course it does not mean that, because we know from Deuteronomy 18:10, God abhors those who practice divination. So he would not be the power behind her prophecies. What it could have been, of course, is Satan, who is a preternatural being. And remember, he's possessed of exalted intelligence and powers that are beyond our imagination. He is certainly capable of deducing possible future events. For instance, an earthquake. He knows when the plates of the earth are moving, and that like I said, he's not all knowing. He's not all knowing, but he knows that. He knows what geology is. Angelic beings, and this is from Father Parente and his book, Catholic Teaching on the Angels. All they need to do is look at something, and they instantly know everything about it. So he knows geology. He understands that. He is exalted intelligence, so he can predict that. She says something about Europe is going to be wiped out. It's going to be replaced by Muslims, and she said that this was going to happen like in the year 2016. And now, how hard is it to deduce a possible future Muslim invasion of Europe when a de facto invasion has been going on over there for years because of their immigration policies? Mm-hmm. So, you look at it and you can see really there's a lot of question marks. The deeper you look into something like this, there's the more question marks you have. And we know that this is not coming from God. People who are prophets, they never asked to be prophets. Most of them didn't want to be prophets. If you look at Jeremiah, Isaiah, they all complained. They didn't want anything to do with that. And they certainly did not seek out any of these prophetic visions. They were just given to them by God, just gave them to them. But this person, of course, obviously is making a living, and she's getting some status, or she was getting some status. She was born in 1911, and she died. I forget what year it was that she died in, but she has since passed away. But she was quite famous in her day, so she was getting a lot of status from this. Heads of state were coming to see her. This is not the stuff that comes from God. So you have to just be very, very careful when you read it. It's intriguing to read. But also check into and I deliberately looked for this. I said, what Baba Vanga prophecies didn't come true? And I got this long list. So there's probably a longer list of what didn't come true than what did. So don't pay any attention to it.
Well, and this is what is important. Oftentimes we get these indications from individuals, but again, we're not to put our stock in that. We do know, that the evil one can find an opening there, and can incite thoughts into people's minds, and we don't want to find ourselves in a position where we are going to those kinds of things for some kind of word of advice or some kind of knowledge that we shouldn't have.
Exactly. Don't go there. You don't need to have that knowledge. Sometimes you really, really want to know. Is something very serious about that going on in your life, and you truly, truly want to know. That's the time when I'm in a situation like that, I ask and I go right to God the Father. Mm-hmm. That's my go-to for stuff like that. And I asked him, please, Lord, give me an extra special grace that will enable me to handle this, and to be patient. And he always does. Yeah. He always gives me something that will enable me to be able to get through it. You don't need to necessarily know your whole future. Do you really even want to know your whole future? For me, no. I'd rather not know. I'd rather just deal with it minute by minute and then rely on the Lord to give me the grace to handle in that moment whatever should come my way from him. So that's the way I would suggest you do it, and stay away from these quick fixes, because we all want things right away, right? We all want it right away. I want to know what's going to happen to me. And I think that we need to just kind of chill on that. And go to the Lord, asking for whatever grace you need to be able to endure whatever it is you need to have to endure for as long as he wants you to endure it.
You know, you mentioned something I think that is so essential and so important, especially for growth in the spiritual life. And that is that, you know, when we're in a position and things are really rough and we're going through a rocky time, we want a quick resolution. And sometimes we find ourselves in the furor of the moment and the worry and concern of the moment, seeking these alternative ways of gaining esoteric knowledge, which we can never trust and never should trust because the source is evil. But it's all because of a lack of patience. And, you know, there's a beautiful theology of waiting. You know, that waiting on the Lord is a very, very necessary thing. And that even God waited, you know, it tells us in Galatians 4:4, in the fullness of time, God sent his son born of a woman. From all eternity, God knew what he was going to do, but he waited for the fullness of time. And so, you know, there's preparations that are being made in that waiting process to bring about what God wants out of the situation and circumstance that we're facing and what it is that he wants to teach us in the midst of it. So I think, you know, that we have to learn to cultivate that. And we learn to cultivate that in the everyday little things that come up where we have to exercise patience. We grow in the virtue by exercising it, you know? Well, listen,
I always call it the P word. I call it the P word. No, Lord, don't make me be patient.
Well, you know, a Protestant friend of mine once told me, Johnnette, don't ever pray for patience, because if you pray for patience, God's going to give you troubles. So you have to exercise it. It's like, oh, goodness. Well, we've got an email here. I want to go to this email, and I've got some information on this too, Sue. It says, hi, Johnnette and Sue. I always learn something new watching your shows. Oh, thank you. Thank you for all you do. I have been hearing a commercial on Guadalupe Radio recently about Saint Candles. At first, I thought, who is Saint Candles? Never heard of her. I found out the company sells candles to find love for your children, etc. And there is a coin in each candle. It sounds pagan to me. What do you think? I bought a candle with JP2 picture at a local grocery store, but not to gain any reward. They are sold at many stores in Houston. And that's true. As a matter of fact, I've purchased a number of candles that have Our Blessed Mother on them, Our Lady of Guadalupe, at some of those Houston grocery stores. But this is something different that the emailer, Mary, thank you, Mary, for your question, is asking us about. So I don't know if you have information on it, but I've got some.
I do have a little bit. Just what I did now, I'm looking at it, and there's things about it I don't like. So why don't you go first then?
Well, it's going to be interesting as we have this discussion. My take on this is that what we have here, I think, are practices that are common to us as Catholics. So what we've got here are candles that are manufactured that people will put in their home to use and light as they're praying to a saint and asking a saint for their intercession. Much as we would light a votive candle in front of the statue of Our Blessed Lady in a church. So here we are, we're asking a saint for their intercession. And so as we pray the prayer that's offered with this, then, you know, we are lighting a candle to focus our mind, our attention, and in a certain sense to invoke the saint in a healthy way. Not that the fire of the candle or any of that is evoking the saint, not that. And then the coin that's in there is something that we do see frequently, and I've seen them in different locations. It's not like a coin that has, you know, it's not a money coin. It's something that's in the shape of a coin, and it's more of a medallion of the saint that we are invoking. So, you know, we're asking for the saint of, there's one there for Saint Joseph, for example. And so we are asking Saint Joseph for a particular intention, and the candle is there, and we're just lighting that as we're praying the prayer. And then apparently when the wax all melts down at some future point in time, that little medallion of Saint Joseph is in there. So, I mean, I don't see it as a superstitious practice.
Yeah, there's some things in it that, first of all, I'm not seeing a whole lot of spirituality in the background of the owner.
Okay.
The person who came up with this, Ira DeWitt. I'm looking at something in Medium where she's talking about this as purely a business venture. She wanted to give something beautiful to a friend whose son was very sick, and she decided to give her, this meaningful gift. And she was unhappy with the candle and that. And then she decided, well, I'm just going to go. I want a prayer candle that has a Joe Malone vibe, and a beautiful smell, the beautiful package. And so, she made 500 of them. And this is really how it started.
Uh-huh.
And she got into this partnership with St. Jude and that sort of thing. So I wasn't impressed by that. It does seem to be more of a business. I think that in some ways, when I was looking at it, I thought to myself, these could be handled in a very superstitious way. In other words, she's recommending certain candles to be burned for healing, and certain saints that you pray to. Now, if you're actually praying to those saints, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely
Right.
nothing wrong with it. You're right. There's nothing superstitious in that at all. But lighting that candle is not going to make you well. It's
Oh,
the
no,
prayer
no.
that's going to make you well.
Yeah,
and it's
and
the same way like what we do in church.
Mhm.
When you light
Right.
a candle, it's because what you're saying is, I want to keep this prayer alive for 7 days.
That's right.
By lighting this candle, it represents my intention for 7 days. So I want to look into it a lot further before I come up with anything. The candles are all blessed. I'm curious about that blessing. How does that happen? Like, what kind of blessing is it? Who blesses them? They're blessed with holy intentions.
I thought
So
that
I want to look into it.
Yeah, I think that that's a good idea, and then you can come back and we can talk about it more. But my initial, I think it said that it was blessed by, and I think it was the wax that was blessed. So there are questions about it. Certainly I trust Guadalupe Radio Network, so I don't necessarily have a concern about it at this point in time. But I do think that we have to be careful with anything that we don't turn it into a superstition, regardless of whether that, is a candle or whether it's a rosary or whether it's a necklace or whether it's the scapular, where, we wear it as a
Yes.
good luck charm, No, that's not what we do with any sacramental. We don't do that with any sacramental. And so we've got to be very careful and we've got to be very circumspect in the way in which we approach our sacramentals that we have, understanding that it's the blessing, right, and the prayers that are attentive to that particular sacramental that are doing the deal for us, basically. That's really that is what's making everything efficacious. It's not the item itself. And so, and of course, I understand the concern too about the commercialization of such things, which is always a concern. There are lots and lots of Catholic companies, though, that put out medals and put out rosaries, and they're for profit. So, the intention, I think, is always something that's got to be looked at, both by the person that's manufacturing as well as the person who is purchasing. So, you'll let us know more.
I agree with that. Yeah, I'm going to I'll look into it. I'm not going to say yay or nay about it until I just look into it. A couple things just kind of raise my little flags. But then again, I've been doing this for many years, and these things kind of raise my little flag until I go and I look into it. And I truly look into these things. When you ask a question, I do it. And sometimes drive myself crazy while I'm doing these things, but I do it.
Well,
and
but
I look into every little aspect of it.
But
Yeah.
that's what makes you such a good researcher. And that's what makes that blog so worthwhile, and that's what makes your books so worthwhile, because you are a very credible researcher. You're not researching for a result that you've got in your mind. You're researching for what the fact is regarding it, and willing to lay everything at the foot of what the truth is regarding it. So that's what makes you a good researcher. Well, I do think that we've got a caller there. I'm going to ask Vanessa to cue him up and get him going.
Talking about prophecy and how that's connected to wicked spirits. As I understand it, a New Testament definition of prophecy is to strengthen, encourage, and comfort. And I find that a great guideline for myself personally, as more people in the church of today have a gift of prophecy, and they don't know it because they don't understand it, but they actually experience it and edify the church in that way.
Okay, Sue. So that ties right into the topic that we started with, the use of the word prophecy in a right-minded way as opposed to a mediumship kind of a way.
Right. Well, in a mediumship kind of way, they're seeking it. They're making a living off of it. They're actually, wanting it for themselves, that they want to have this special gift. But let's say in the case of Daniel, you see how he had these different prophecies. He was never seeking any of this stuff out. He never really wanted to do that. That wasn't what he set out to do the day that he got all of his revelations about the end times. So that's a big difference there between prophecy and good prophecy and then prophecy that's coming from the evil one, because evil spirits do that. And they like to tell people that, especially when you're following apparitions and that sort of thing, and the prophecies are coming out of these apparition sites. This is why you always have to listen to the church, because the church has had a lot more experience with this than any others in discerning whether or not something is coming from God and something is not coming from God. Because yes, he does. The Lord does give prophetic gifts. He absolutely does do that. But we still have to test those spirits. We still have to be prudent about that. Mm-hmm. And just to make sure that that's where it's coming from. And like Father Benedict Rochelle says in his book, A Still Small Voice, and I know you and I mention that book so often. It is such a good book. If you have never read it, read it. A Still Small Voice, because it really helps you to understand prophecy and helps you how to listen to God and how to really hear him. And he says in that book that even the best and the most innocent seers only got things like 75% right. I mean, there's always something in there that's coming through your psyche that's not exactly what he said. So we have to learn how to be prudent with this sort of thing and about prophecy. It's a very good question, though. I appreciate that one. Yeah,
it is a good question. And let me just recommend this. Friends, we have a series. We've got 2 installments in the series right now, Moments with Mary. The second one that came out, which is the newest, is called Mary Through the Eyes of the Mystics. And in that beautiful study, we are taught by Colin Donovan, who is Vice President of Theology for EWTN, and he teaches us all about mysticism, and he teaches us all about these gifts, and we look at those gifts in the lives of various saints, and we see this throughout the course of the study, and we learn a whole lot about this particular area, especially in reference to our Blessed Lady. So it's called Mary Through the Eyes of the Mystics. It is a Women of Grace study called in the series Moments with Mary, and it's available for you at EWTN's religious catalog. That's EWTNRC.com. Now, we are going to be having an online offering using that particular study coming up this fall. Those dates are going to be published very, very soon. They've been determined. We just have to get them up on the website. So you keep watching for that website, and when I know when those dates are, obviously I'm going to announce them on the air as well. But you might as well order a copy right now so that you have it, so that when the study begins, you will have access to it. And all of the teachings that Colin Donovan does, all of those teachings are available to you. You can watch the teachings, you can see them, and you'll have access to them in perpetuity. So it's really just quite a remarkable thing. So we invite you to participate in that this fall, because as you so often tell us, Sue, we can never exhaust this topic, and we can never learn everything about the wonder and splendor of God, but also about the way the evil one wants to twist our understanding.
Absolutely, and he's very good at that, and he easily convinces us to go off the wrong track.
Yes, he
very
does.
Easily.
Yes, he does indeed. Well, here we are at the end of the program. This was a great show. Thank you so much, Sue.
Thank you for having me.
Just delightful in every way. And friends, it's always good being with you Monday through Friday at this same time on this same station as we discuss issues of importance to your life and faith. I'm going to be back with you again tomorrow. It's Thursday, and we've got a very, very nice Thursday planned for you. I've got a smile on my face just thinking about it. I'm not going to tell you, though, because it's a surprise, and I don't want to spoil it for you. So you'll just have to join us, and we're going to be here for you. In the meantime, get out to our website, womenofgrace.com. Check out our New Age blog. It is there for you. Check out our upcoming events as well, and join us for one of our events. We're going to be right back. Stay with us.
The most original and exclusive Catholic content is on EWTN Radio.
I'm continually amazed and humbled at the way God can work through me to help so many people. Although I have no idea what the call